Okay, because I'm bored, I really wanted to talk about favorite recent gaming genres. I like to call them party chat horror games. A few games I put into this category include Lethal Company, Repo, Kletzka, and Content Warning. You see, as someone who has hundreds of collective hours on these games, I think I am pretty experienced in the topic, having played all of these incredibly quickly after they had been released, while also watching a few more hundred hours on the same games while on YouTube. I obviously loved these games, as evident by the amount of playtime I have on them, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of them. But what makes a game a party chat horror game? Well, for me, there are three different criteria that must be met to truly be a party chat horror game. The first criteria is that the game has to be multiplayer and include voice chat as a dynamic feature, although it can include a single player alternative to the multiplayer, but it has to have multiplayer. It can just have an addition of single player. My second criteria is that it has to be under both survival and horror as gaming genres, which, yes, does mean this is technically like 6 or so criteria, but just ignore that. The third criteria I have is that it has to be something that can be funny to watch and understandable in small amounts, aka just short form clip compatibility. Obviously, there's more that would go into this, but those are the basic three that I think of whenever I think of the criteria of a party chat horror game. Seeing this genre grow and evolve and become more popular has really been a neat thing to watch and witness as someone that's been doing it since the beginning. Recently, I came across a game trailer that had only a few hundred views. Now it sits at a lot more, though I'm not sure of the exacts, but it was something that was really
deliver the
promising.
packages,
It was basically another party chat horror game, but based in VR. Something else that is great about party chat horror games is that, so far, the party chat horror games tend to be made by smaller game development companies or just indie developers in general, who genuinely do it for the passion of game development, although I'm sure that Microsoft, Sony, Warner Bros., and any other greedy gaming companies will soon hop on the trend of the genre. Out of all the games listed, I would say all of them have their own unique advantages and disadvantages, but I'll be focusing on what they do best out of the bunch. For Lethal Company, I would say that it does best is just general gameplay loop and mechanics, as well as complexity and environmental design. For Content Warning, I would say that it's more so a turn your brain off type of game that doesn't demand too much of you, and it's just goofing off with friends. Kletka is a bit of a confusing one because I would say I just had fun with the public lobbies that it had and the discovery of everything that could change, although the other ones typically do that better. It just felt special. I definitely will say Kletka is probably the weakest of the bunch. Next, we have Repo, which is probably one of the more popular ones on this list, as well as the most recent one that I have here. I would say Repo does best just interactions with different people and seeing how everyone reacts to different things. As popular as the other genres may be, like battle royales, hide and seek games, or shooter games in general, grenade, 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 grenade. I personally am looking forward to this genre the most to see what is in its future, because these games are just so much fun to play in general. Specifically, the interactions you get to have with you and your friends that you definitely have, and that you don't have to beg to play with you, are incredibly hilarious and are not forced by gunpoint. Moral of the story?
I'ma make you walk like that. Make you